Time to check the oil quick. Good. Okay. Yes, I locked myself. Surprisingly, my most popular TikTok is of me unlocking the combine door. Apparently that's not as common as I would have thought. Last day of side dressing. Feels good to be going. Only 20 some acres. Well, not even, because this field is 25 and I'm already 13 in, so not bad. We'd gotten rain the morning of yesterday, so it was greasy on top. I'm not complaining. I was so thankful to God for the rain. Not muddy, but just enough to get some mud up on the fenders and that. So it's always interesting. So obviously this is where I shut the boom off to make sure that I don't do waterways, but typically it's clear when I start the year, and so kind of what the field would look like if you didn't spray any herbicide. That's what it would be. This is rough. This is where obviously it was. We'd gotten the rain. This was planted before the May 20th rains and cold weather, and I had thought about just ripping it all up and replanting, but the problem is clearly these seeds did germinate eventually, so I think I would have had some issue if I would have came back in with the field cultivator. Probably those seeds would have germinated, but it was rainy and cold and then kind of crusted over. I had heard some other guys went in and with rotary hose to break up the crust. We did end up getting rains that I think softened it up, which then allowed the seeds to break through. But what you're seeing now is it is considerably behind. But again, like, it's not going to be good. It's just going to be a poor area. Unfortunately, it's probably a couple acres. But if I would have come through and ripped it up and tried replanting, then what you probably would have just ended up with a lot of volunteer corn spaced everywhere. I could have tried going back in the row, but then, in hindsight, maybe going back in and planting where I had, just maybe cutting the population down. So in future years, maybe that's what I do. I just knew I didn't want to have a whole bunch of volunteer corn, so it is what it is. It's not pretty. It's right next to the road, but it happens. You can actually tell. So this was the area that was planted before the rains, and then I still had about 4 acres left to come in, and so obviously that emerged well, and kind of speaking to the idea of I probably should have came back in at least in these clay areas and maybe cut the population in half, gone exactly where I had gone, and filled it in. So that'll be a learning. It's something I'll take away for next year. Kind of is what it is, but you just see the big difference between what was planted, waited and planted, versus what struggled to emerge because of the crusting on top. Okay, that was it. Side dressing 2025. Now time to fold this up. Must be the restrictors on the up and down are a lot smaller than the others, so I probably should go in and
raise the flow, but just trying not to. And this will get my booms up. I had redone the breakaways, but I am working with the shop that did them just to kind of revamp the locking mechanism. I can see on the newer sprayers they really changed it, because obviously when it does that, you got to have it so it enough pressure that it doesn't do that, but not enough that obviously if it hits something it doesn't break away. But I did see on the newer ones they changed it. The only problem is getting parts isn't the easiest. So what I'm gonna do is actually I want these at the same time. You rotate it up, and then it rotates forward. And this was the one that I replaced the cylinder because it had stripped out where I needed to put in the fitting. It had stripped it out. Now maybe I could have welded it in, but cylinders, it was just a little bit over 100, so not bad. So I rotated in and then just put them down in the cradle, make sure it's up all the way, and then I will go out and just push these side boom in, but wouldn't need to. But yeah, all done. So I've never had the chance to really do this before when I've been side dressing, but since this sprayer has it, I'm gonna take advantage of washing these drop hoses out. So I want to turn off the spray boom, and I think I just do my clean water rinse, and that should start pulling from that tank. Yeah, I can see it starting to go down. I need a new hose on that, but it's pumping, going through the pump and putting it into the tank. I'm curious if I get on this. And that should, yeah. It's not the rinse one, but it's enough to dilute what's in there. And then I'll run it back through the boom. Theoretically, then all my drop hoses will be diluted. Stay up top. About halfway down. Okay. Okay. Well, that will be then truly officially done. I wanted to obviously use what was in the tank, but also get it a little bit cleaner if I could. So I'll finish up with this, and that should be good. Now I just have to pray for a rain.